Welcome back everybody to part 2 of my top 10 Mario games. Now before we begin I want to say a couple things. One, if you haven't seen my first part of this video, go click on the annotation on screen right now to go to that. And I have to thank you guys who watched the first part and are coming back for more. I really do appreciate it. Well, let's be done with all these formalities and let's jump right into my top 10 favorite Mario games.
Yes! Let's go!
Alright, now we're getting into the good stuff. Mario Kart is a cartoon racing game with simple but hard to master gameplay. The game works by picking a Mario character, selecting an arena, and racing. Simple as that. But what really adds to toying my happy meal with this game is the power-ups you get when racing. There are a wide variety of power-ups, with shells and bananas being good example of some. I don't really mind any of the power-ups except for one of them, the infamous blue shell. The blue shells are the bearer of decimation to any good player. When used, the blue shell goes right after the player in first place and completely annihilates him. Once the blue shell is locked onto you, there is no escape, and any other players around you will also be damaged. But the good and the bad even themselves out pretty well in this game, mostly in the good's favor. My favorite map in the game would have to be Waluigi Stadium. Waluigi Stadium is a dirt track with many jumps and monstrous piranha plants throughout the map. The map feels wide open, but also has a sense of linearity to it, which isn't bad in a racing game. Because there's so many jumps, you can get a lot of jump boosts while racing, which makes Waluigi Stadium an overall well-designed and fun map. And for some reason, I love playing as these two specific characters, Waluigi and Rosalina. In racing, you need to be sly and have quick wits to take advantage of your peers. All of Waluigi's character traits involve him being a cheating opportunist, so it's good for racing, I guess. And the other character who I'm constantly taking names for, I love to play as, is Rosalina. Unlike every other princess in the Mario series, Rosalina can actually defend herself against enemies. And you know, because she's all magical and stuff, I get a sense of omnipotence with her. But because I do play as her, I get made fun of a lot because, you know, being a girl in a racing game isn't that cool anymore. Anyway, the main reason why I like this game is because it's so easy to just pick up and play and enjoy. This game is like Othello, easy to learn but hard to master. And it's a great user-friendly game that's more family-oriented, so you can actually have a lot of fun playing against your siblings or your parents. And I have to say, losing to your mother in Mario Kart is quite embarrassing. That was a terrible day in my life.
Yes! Let's go!
I know some of you will hate me for putting this over Mario Kart, but here it goes. Yep, Mario Super Sluggers is one of my favorite games of all time. The main reason why I love this game is because I love baseball.
You don't say!
Shut up, Link. No one asks for your opinion. All my friends label me as a baseball nut, so this is kind of predictable for them. The one thing I noticed about sports games and Mario games is a lack of storyline. So any rational thinking person would think this game have no storyline whatsoever. But Super Mario Sluggers actually has a considerable amount of storyline to it. I don't want to explain the whole thing, so let me give you a quick summary of what the storyline is like. It starts out with Mario visiting a baseball park run by Princess Peach. Then Bowser comes along with his own baseball park and then tries to take over the whole facility. And you have to drive out the tyrant by beating him in a baseball game in the end. Is it different? Yeah, it is. But is it bad? No, not really. The gameplay in this game revolves completely around the Wii motion controls. Swinging, throwing, running, and pitching all use swinging actions with the Wii remote. It's really that simple. The thing that makes this baseball game different from every other baseball game I've ever played is the power-up mechanic. Every time you get a good pitch or hit, your meter fills up in the bottom left corner of the screen. Once the meter's all the way up, hold A and B while you pitch or hit, and you'll get your power-up. My favorite batting power-up would have to be Waluigi's Liar Swing. After the ball is hit, it takes several sharp turns midair, which makes it considerably difficult to catch. My favorite of all the pitching power-ups has to be Bowser Jr.'s paintball. Not even the strongest of CPUs can hit that thing. Okay, let's change the subject for a second. Am I the only one who thinks all baseball video games are really boring? I'd rather be outside playing baseball in real life with my friends than play a video game about it. But there's something special about this game. I'm one of the few kids in my school that actually likes baseball more than any other sport. So seeing my favorite Mario characters battling it out playing baseball together makes me feel like I'm not alone. I may be over-exaggerating this a little bit, but Mario Super Sluggers was like a friend to me. I didn't have many friends in elementary school, so coming home to Mario Super Sluggers was an added plus. It boosted my self-confidence, and it was really good for someone who had a lot of problems like me. It was more than a game for me, it was more like a friend I could always count on. Well, of course, until the day I broke the disc by accident. I still haven't gotten around to get the game again, so just the other day I ordered it on Amazon. It should be coming in a couple days, and it's about time, too.
Yes! Let's go!
Okay, what game do you think comes to my mind when you think of GameCube? Nah. Nope. Oh hell no, that game was terrible. Want a hint? Alright. Water. Still don't know? Well, alright then. Ladies and bronies, I present to you Super Mario Sunshine!
Super Mario Sunshine! Woohoo!
Alright, I know you guys are probably wondering why I'm so hyped up over this game. It wasn't very popular at all, and the advertisement was worse than a bridge made of chopsticks. Seriously, look at this. What the hell were you thinking, Nintendo? Mario looks like he just got hired to be entertaining at a 7-year-old kid's party. Well, I shouldn't be really judging a game on its advertisement, because Sonic 06 had good advertising skills, but we all know how abysmal that game was. But in the end, none of that really matters to me, because it all comes down to enjoyment. And let me tell you, I've never gotten tired of playing this game. The main reason for this is Mario's Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dousing device, also known as Flood. Flood has 3 major purposes: to kill enemies, to stun enemies, and to act as a mode of transportation. Flood comes equipped with 4 unlockable nozzles. One of these nozzles is just for basic shooting. The hover nozzle acts as a hovering device. I personally find this one to be the most useful because it acts as a second jump. The third nozzle is the jet nozzle. The jet nozzle acts just like the hover nozzle but requires charging up, but it is really good if you need immediate vertical recovery. The fourth and most fun of all the nozzles is the turbo nozzle. This nozzle acts as a speed boost for Mario, so you can zoom around the map feeling like you're playing Sonic. It's definitely the most efficient of all the nozzles. Let's move on to the storyline. It starts out with Mario, Peach, Toadsworth, and some other Toads going on vacation at a tropical resort called Isle Delfino. Upon arriving, they notice that the island is filled with sludge and toxic waste. Eventually, Mario is arrested and blamed for polluting the island and is sentenced to stay at Isle Delfino until the entire island is clean. Mario obviously did not perform these acts, and it was actually Bowser Jr. dressed up as Shadow Mario. I don't think anyone has ever seen a storyline like this in a Mario game, which makes it a special experience. There are a total of 120 shine sprites Mario must get. This is a small reference to Super Mario 64 because they both have the same amount of stars you must get in the game. That means if you want to beat this game, it's going to take a damn long time, which in my opinion is a plus. I like games that have a large sense of commitment to it because when you eventually beat the game, you'll have such a sense of accomplishment. Like the sense of accomplishment Ronald Reagan got when he beat Jimmy Carter in 1981. Man, Reagan killed Carter in that election. All I'm saying here is that the month I beat Super Mario Sunshine was probably the second happiest month of my life. What's the number 1 happiest month I've ever had in my life, you may ask? Well, that'll be revealed later. Well, in conclusion, this game was fun, long-lasting, innovative, and was a major portion of my childhood. Oh GameCube, I miss you so much with your tiny little discs.
Yes! Let's go!
Alright, this next game marks the most fun I've ever had on a Wii. It's so important to me that it scores high in my favorite games of all time, never mind just my favorite Mario games. This game is Super Mario Galaxy. There is so much I love about this game. Where do I begin? This game's presentation is beyond incredible. Super Mario Galaxy has by far the best soundtrack of any of the games I've ever played. If you don't agree with me, it's probably because you've never beaten this game. Here are some examples of my favorite soundtracks in this game. Some include the Good Egg Galaxy theme, the Red Star power-up, both the Ice and Fire Flower power-ups, Cosmic Observatory theme, Space Junk Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy theme, Star Festival, the credits, and the most emotional one of all, the family theme. Aside from the soundtrack, the visuals on this game are astounding. They completely took advantage of the Wii's graphic capabilities, to the point where they'd even make Pablo Picasso envious. On to the gameplay. Just like in Super Mario Sunshine, Mario has a sidekick to assist him on his journey. This helper's name is Luma. Luma's purpose in this game is to allow Mario to perform a spin attack. The spin attack can act as an offensive move to allow Mario to do a second jump, or to make him swim faster underwater, which in the end of the day are all very useful techniques. Some people criticize this game because they think it's too monotonous, but I don't find any of that in this game. All the galaxies Mario ventures through in this game are very diverse and unique, and implement their own style of gameplay throughout their levels. I never felt a feeling of tediousness during my experience with this game, but everyone sees things differently, I guess. Let's move on to the boss battles. Not a single boss battle is similar to each other in this game. A good boss battle can't be too easy, but it can't be too difficult at the same time, while still maintaining a player's enjoyment throughout the fight. I thought the boss battles in this game were beyond creative, so there won't be any complaints here. Unlike the majority of Mario games, this game actually has a backstory to it, and it's a pretty sad one too. It's quite possible that someone could play through this entire game and not know about this backstory. But for those who dig deep into the game's subplot, they can figure out the shocking history of Rosalina. The history of Rosalina actually explains a lot about the game. Things that one wouldn't necessarily pick up during a regular playthrough. I don't want to explain the whole thing, so you can just Google it if you really want to learn about it. Or you can just Bing it, but unless you're Peter Parker, I wouldn't suggest it. Oh, and by the way, that Bing it on thing is rigged. Google is so much better. Okay, back on topic. Remember when I said that beating Super Mario Sunshine was the second happiest month of my life? Well, the month I beat Super Mario Galaxy was my first. This game took me over 50 hours to complete, so when I did beat the game, I was happier than Hypno in a kindergarten class. Since the game was so beautiful, it was just a great playthrough for me. The only, and I mean only gripe I have with this game is the purple coin levels. It's the most boring and generic thing I've ever experienced with this game. The concept of the purple coins is for Mario to collect all 100 of them scattered around the entire map. If you miss even one, you will fail the level and have to start all over again. Especially on the larger maps, these things take 25 minutes plus, so once you get 20 minutes into it and accidentally slip up and die, you have to do all that over again. It's just so frustrating. It completely takes out the enjoyment in the game. It had so much potential to be something that was actually fun yet challenging, but they completely screwed it up. The only way to make purple coin levels better is to get rid of them completely. But of course in Super Mario Galaxy 2, they're right back here to troll us again. Oh well, whoop-de-doo! Even with the purple coins, this game has shown more beauty, enjoyment, and professionalism than any other games on this list. And it's only number 2. So you may be thinking to yourself, what can be better than Super Mario Galaxy? I can guarantee you'll be surprised.
Yes! Let's go!
Welcome to the first Mario game that I've ever played. The game that made me a fan of Nintendo. The game that changed my life forever. This game is Hotel Mario. Got you there for a second, didn't I? No. The real number 1 game is, ready for this? The original New Super Mario Bros.
But Captain Mario, didn't you put this game on this list earlier on?
No, I did not. The DS version of New Super Mario Bros. Is completely different from its Wii counterpart. Yes, it may be a 2D platformer, yes, it may be a remake just for the Wii, but it just feels different when you play it. Now, many of you will disagree with me, or more like all of you will disagree with me, but in my opinion, this game is the best 2D platformer Nintendo has ever made.
Now that is a special kind of stupid.
Well, before you get your Tangela all up in a knot, let me explain. The visuals are stunning in this game. They're smooth, colorful, and very well animated, and fit the game very well. They may not be as good as Super Mario Galaxy, but they're still pretty good. The soundtrack, just like the visuals, seem to fit the game very well. It sounds like a classic Mario theme, but it's kind of revamped with a new feeling to it. Well, hence the title of the game. People constantly tell me that the soundtrack is repetitive and unoriginal in this game. I can see why they would think it's repetitive, mostly because it is repetitive. All the soundtracks are based off the same style of music, so apparently the critics are right on that one. But in no way, shape, or form is it unoriginal. I've never heard any other Mario soundtrack sound like that before this game was made, so it definitely is original. It's all the other newer Mario games that copy this soundtrack, so it isn't this game that's unoriginal, it's all the new Super Mario Bros. That came after this game. Alright, I'm done ranting about this. Now let's move on to the storyline. Just like in any other main series platformers, there's little to no storyline. Just the same old lather, rinse, and repeat princess kidnapping. The gameplay in this game is just as simple. Jump on some stuff and jump over some other stuff while shooting the occasional fireball. But simplicity isn't bad in a 2D platformer. But what I really love about this game is the challenge it presents to the player. This game starts out nice and slow, but once you hit the 4th world, holy shit does it get hard. Just like in Super Mario World, I saw the game over screen 1.5 billion times during my quest to save the princess. But instead of raging when I saw that screen like in Super Mario World, it motivated me to work harder at beating it. That's what I really love about this game, the overwhelming sense of having to work hard for your goals. But all of the above isn't really the main reason why this is my favorite Mario game of all time. New Super Mario Bros. Is my favorite because it was the first Nintendo game I've ever played. It was this game that made me a fan of the Super Mario franchise. It was this game that made me go out and buy more Mario games. It was this game, New Super Mario Bros., that introduced me to the glorious thing we call video games. And I'm sure glad it did. This has been Captain Mario, and thank you for watching my video. I'd just like to remind you to Falcon Punch that subscribe button down there. It really does help. I hope to see you all in the next video.